It's like you promised me that we were going to go together and you left. You said that you wouldn't leave and you left. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a video, and before I start off this video, if you can tell by the title, that's what it's going to be about. But it's going to be a lot into one. So I'm doing this video because of some events that transpired yesterday, and I'm doing this video also because I know a lot of females go through this, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people have their own stories and you know, they don't know what to do. So basically I'm going to tell you guys my story, and I'm also going to tell you guys how I've decided to handle the situation. I know that, you know what I'm saying, this is open to the world. So if anybody feels any type of way about this video, I'm sorry, but I don't really care, only because this is my story, you know what I'm saying? This is my story, you know, this is my testimony, this is my story. So if anything that I say hurts you, I'm sorry, and I'm just going to be truthful about how I feel. This is going to be my video, so if you can't handle that, you shouldn't watch it. So let's get started. Growing up, I grew up in a very abusive household. Drug abuse, alcohol abuse, you know, abuse with my parents. It was a lot of abuse going on, and to me it was the norm because it was like that every single day of my life. It wasn't like I was a kid and I was afraid or I was frightened by it. No, it was the norm for me until I started having friends and they spend the night at my house and they're like, oh, why are they fighting? Oh, I'm scared. Like, no, don't be scared. Like, this is the norm, you know what I'm saying? And it's sad, but that was my norm. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I didn't start seeing that it was actually an issue until I started going over people's house, or people were coming to my house, and it, you know, I didn't start seeing the problem. My dad raised me, you know, it was opposite with my mom and my dad. My mom went to work. She was the breadwinner. And today, I appreciate her for that. But when I was younger, I needed her. You know what I'm saying? But my dad was the person who did my hair, showed me how to brush my teeth, cook me dinner, play games with me, help me with my homework, walk me to school, come and pick me up from the bus stop. You know, that's what he did. And because my mom was the breadwinner, that messed up our relationship. And once they split ways, because my dad raised all of us, my mom was a bit clueless to, you know, what she was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, like I said, how I feel. Somebody else, you know, maybe one of my other siblings may feel different, but this is just honestly how I feel about it. And you know, she just got out of a abusive relationship of 23 years. Not only is she trying to find her way, but she has this daughter, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it, you know, it wasn't all peaches and cream, and that really affected my childhood. And a lot of times in my videos I expressed to you guys I was angry, and I was angry because once my dad left, he started running in and out of my life, you know what I'm saying? And then my mom got a boyfriend and she would choose him over me. So that's where the anger stemmed from. That's where the fighting came. That's where the attention seeking came, because I was looking for, you know, for the people at home to, I don't know, be there for me, you know what I'm saying? So I never was the type of child when it came down to my dad that asked for anything. I just wanted him to be there. I just wanted to be there with him. and sorry if I get emotional, but it's a really touchy subject. But I just really wanted him to be there. That's all I knew, and I praised his name. Even when people would say bad things about him, I praised his name, because when it was just me and him, it was great. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the living situations, regardless of any of that. And of course I didn't tell my mom, that we were sleeping on boxes and crates. No, I didn't tell her that. I didn't tell her that it was dead middle of winter and there was no heat, because I didn't care. I was with him, and that's what made me happy. And throughout that, I learned a lot about him. He answered a lot of my questions, Why did you abuse my mom? You know what I'm saying? What got you on drugs? Why? Yeah, and he would answer my questions, and that comfort me, even though it wasn't right. It still wasn't right. You still don't beat a woman. A man should never put his hands on a woman, regardless of the situation. But I love my dad to death. I do. I still to this day love him dearly. So I would go home and I would ask my mom about certain things he would say, and she would get pissed, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was always a constant battle between the two. You want to go live with your dad? You want to be with your dad? And to be all honest, I would tell her yes, because that's where I wanted to be, regardless of the living situations, regardless of anything. That's all, because that's all I knew. You know what I'm saying? That's all I knew. But as I began to, to get older, I realized the damage it actually caused me. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted him. I always wanted him to be there. So whenever I would find somebody, whether it was a friend, somebody I was in a relationship with, once I'm like, I like this person, I like them in my life, I'm going to hold on as tight as I can. You know what I'm saying? And I would have I still to this day have these attachment issues. And then I had this, with the attachment comes the abandonment issues, a fear of people leaving. Like, oh, I don't want them to leave. Even if they did something wrong to me, I'm going to figure out a way to apologize, make it my fault so that they stay, because I don't want them to leave, because everybody leaves, because he left. You know what I'm saying? It's always been that constant battle. And I will always go back and forth and blame myself, like, why is he leaving me? What am I doing wrong? Why is he leaving me? And I end up getting sick. And part of me was hoping that with me getting sick, that would make him stay. That would make him want to be in my life, because I don't know. I thought that would force him to stay in my life. He won't leave anymore, because now I really need him. It's no longer a want, it's a need. And I was still a minor at that time. I was still an adolescent child. So I'm thinking, like, that's going to force him to stay. He's going to be here now. And I remember the day that I couldn't breathe. And if you guys watch my little story, airway was closing up. I couldn't breathe, and my mom's pushing me in the wheelchair. It was so much. It was like my life was just like it flashing before my damn eyes, and I'm calling him. I can barely breathe, so I can barely talk, but I'm calling him. I want him there. You know what I'm saying? And my mom's like, get off the phone, because I could barely breathe. I could barely talk. And I'm calling this man, and he never showed up. He never came. And still after that, it didn't change my love for him. It didn't change that want for him to be there. Every time I was in the hospital, I just wanted him to be there. Like, it got to the point where it's just like I knew he wasn't ever going to be there, so I just don't want nobody there with me. I don't know, but I try so hard to tell everybody the good that I saw in him, because he's a pretty funny dude. Like, he's funny, he's silly, he's goofy, he's cool. You know, we play games. He can cook. He's bomb at cooking. You know, I watched him, you know, stand in the window, and he watched this dude at the bus stop, and it was dead middle of winter. He didn't have no coat on. He went in his closet, took his coat, took it to him. He's a good person, but the regret and the pain that he feels inside has turned into anger, and now he wants to feel hate for everybody. He wants to hate everybody, and it's like, why do you want to hate everybody so bad when all we want to do is love you? You know what I'm saying? I remember my junior year, that summer, we were so close. We were together all the time. No, not my junior year. My freshman year. I'm sorry. We were so close. We were together all the time. And one day, it just stopped. Everything just stopped. I couldn't find him. And every day, I rode the school bus. That morning, we would drive past my cousin's house. And he was always at my cousin's house. So every time we were about to turn the corner, I'll call. You know, I'll call and I'll look just to see if he's there, just to see, you know. And I went to go find him. Because I always go to find him, because I always can find him when he's in Columbus. I went and I found him. And I looked in his eyes, and they were bloodshot red. And he was just like, hey, you know, I went to jail, and he told me this whole story. And in the back of my head, I knew it was a lie, but I had my dad again. So it didn't matter that I knew that he was back on drugs. It didn't matter that I knew, but I didn't want to believe, so I didn't believe, and I decided to stay. It didn't matter. I mean, I even went home and looked it up. You know, you can pull up people when they go to jail. His name wasn't there. He didn't go to jail. He didn't go nowhere. He went back to his old habits. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, fast forward to these recent events. I have never expressed to my father the way that I feel. I was always scared to, you know what I'm saying? I would make little comments, but I never really truly expressed the way I felt. And, you know, he has this really strong animosity against my mom and my sister. And at first, you know, when it was just me and him and I was with him all the time, I believed it only because what me and my mom was going through, you know, what we were going through with her in this relationship and all of that. I allowed what he said to get to me, and certain things that he said about her was true. You know what I'm saying? They were true. They're still true to this day. But the he came back from Florida. He left me again. And this is to fast forward up. We were supposed to leave together. I was turning 18 soon. We were supposed to go to Florida together. We were supposed to leave together. I was supposed to go to Florida. I wanted to go to school in Florida. I was supposed to be in Florida because warm weather helps me. When it's cold outside, I get sick. My lupus acts up. It gets out of control. I can't deal with it. He was in Florida. I was supposed to go to Florida. I didn't care about none of that. All I cared was that we were supposed to go to Florida together. He promised me that we would go together, and he left. He didn't say goodbye. He didn't say anything. Now he's in a different state, and I can't find him. He's not in Columbus. He's not in Ohio. Anytime he's in Ohio, I can find him. I know where to look. I can find him. But he's not there no more. He's in a whole different state. There's so many different cities. I can't find this man. So it was eating me alive that I could not find him. So when he finally decided to show back up in Columbus, I found him. He didn't find me. He wasn't looking for me. But I found him. I still found him. And I called. And he's like, fuck your mom, fuck your sisters, and if you feel like that, fuck you too, you know, And I just ignored that. I ignored that only because I was just still, you know, I still wanted that good side of him that I know that he had. And at that point, I just broke down because it's like, you promised me that we were going to go together and you left. You said that you wouldn't leave and you left. And he's like, I'm sorry. I couldn't take you with me because I didn't have enough money. And it's like, why couldn't you call and say that? We've been through everything together. It's never been a money. It's never been about the money. You know what I'm saying? It's never been about what you could buy me or what you couldn't buy me. It has never been about that. Ever. So for that to be his reasoning, it was so frustrating. But even hearing my sister, my older sister, you know, tell me like, this is how our conversation went, I still wanted to defend him. I still wanted so badly to defend him. And these recent events has caused me to stop trying to force this relationship with somebody who doesn't want that with me. You know what I'm saying? Recently, a couple weeks ago, my aunt was pronounced brain dead, which is his sister. And the way he has gone about handling the situation, that good side of him that I once knew, that I once saw, is gone. And I don't believe that it's coming back. I honestly don't. The things that he said, his actions, and the way that he hates his own blood has shown me that I can't stay. Has shown me that it's not healthy for me to stay. Because if I stay and I keep trying and I keep pushing for it, it's only going to hurt me more. It's only going to be more destructive to the problems that I already have. And it's only going to add on more problems that I don't need. So, I sent him a message. And, I hope that it doesn't take something bad to happen to me for him to realize and open his eyes and see the world for what it is. I hope that it doesn't take something bad. I hope he wakes up